Bonjour everyone, welcome to another Diecast showcase episode. Today is going to be a manufacturer showcase. We're going to be checking out some of my BMW castings that I have in my collection. So without further ado, we'll get started with 1/64 scale, and we'll move slowly towards a larger scale. So without further ado, we'll get it started. First little casting that I'm going to show you today, nothing really very special, but a pickup that I made several years ago directly on peg, I believe at Toys R Us at the time. So we've got a BMW 3.0 CSL, so a touring car championship contestant from the 70s, early to mid 70s, also known as the Batmobile, straight six. We had a 3-liter version and a 3.5-liter version as well. This, I believe it's a 3.0 CSL, could be a 3.5 CSL. Double check the base just to see. No, 3.0 CSL race car with the Castrol livery, chrome lace wheels. So the front, we have no painted details per se, but some nice casting details that's brought out a little bit by the light here. So yeah, the lights and outer grills are part of the glass portion of the casting, whereas the signature BMW kidneys are part of the base, which is plastic. Got that single wiper on the front windshield, number 7. And here's the rear. Again, nice casting details, just begging for a little bit of a detail with some paint. Got the big wing. Now, when these cars were delivered from factory, fun fact, for the road-going versions, the front spoiler as well as the rear wing were actually not installed on the car, and it was up to either the customer or their certified BMW retailer to actually go ahead and install those upon delivery. So yeah, little cool tidbit. I like this casting. It was just re-released in B case, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it was the super for that case. Didn't pick up that variation because I don't like the McDonald's look the front end gets with the aforementioned details and whatnot. Alright, next up we have a BMW 2002 from Matchbox in yellow. This is a 2018 cast 2019 release vehicle, and this would be the first edition. So definitely a nice little casting. I find Matchbox did a really good job. Great tampo work up front, up to and including the little 2002 in the lower grille there. Mirrors are included on this cast. Light blue tint window, white interior, and you've got the steelies with hubcaps as wheels. Nicely done rear, nice lights, nice BMW logo, a little BMW 202 license plate. Now this one is a little bit chipped. That's my fault, but yeah, overall very, very nice little model. Released in a few colors since, so there's your base. Alright, I'm gonna make a nice little BMW lineup in the rear there. So to stay in the BMW 2002, but changing the whole vibe of the actual vehicle, we'll go to the Hot Wheels version in premium, part of the Forza series or Entertainment series. I believe this would have been a 2017 release. I do have a couple more in this series in my collection, but this specific one I was really happy to pick up. So 2002 turbo in this case, with the little Panasport looking 8 spokes on rubber, real Rider rubber tires. Goodyear lettering on those tires. So you've got the Forza logo, Goodyear, Bilstein, and the Xbox logo as well. Nice livery, nice colored livery, reminiscent of the BMW M colors. Very nice detailing front and back. Actually, I do believe Matchbox did better on this one for detailing in the rear, especially. In the front, I'd say they're pretty much equivalent. Although, since the turbo had the blacked out grills, you know, obviously it commands less detailing. Paint, by the way, is a very nice pearl white, which is pretty much impossible to pick up there. But yeah, it's definitely not gloss white. It's definitely a nice pearl white. Really like this car. It's got a nice gray interior. Unfortunately, no roll cage. Should be a really cool view through the clear windows. And obviously, since it's a premium, got a metal base. 2011 copyright. Yeah, so really nice little vehicle, and it looks really good next to its Matchbox counterpart, where you see a stock version and then the race version. Pretty cool. All right, next up, let's go back in time, go to something a little bit more vintage, but still staying in the Hot Wheels. We've got this Bmw M1, but in this case we're looking at the Street Beast, and it's a color changer, or at least it used to be, because the color you see right now is pretty much where it got stuck on, so it no longer changes color. This is a antique store find. So it's got your basic black walls, metal body, metal base. Nice casting details on the front end, as well as on the hood. Proportions are pretty good, but obviously in view of the fact that the wheels are staggered in diameter, you know, the rear arches are a little bit big, and we'll be able to see that proof of that in a little bit later in the video. Very cool rear end, well rendered, with the louvers on the back. Obviously this is far from mint, but we're talking about a casting that's probably 40 years old, early 80s release. So there we go, your base. Nonetheless, very cool casting, and it still rolls fairly well. So you're not kidding when they say guaranteed for life, eh? There we go. Still vintage, but a little bit less. We're gonna stay in the Hot Wheels of the blue card era, although this is not on card anymore. You have BMW 8 Series and 850i to be precise. This would be from the early 90s. So we've got the Ultra Hots, same diameter all around. Very shimmery dark blue metallic paint with a red interior that also serves as rear lights, which I really like. There's no not much detailing except for the Hot Wheels flame on the rear window, but since this car has pop-up lights, I don't find it's a big deal, and the casting details are there with the front lights, the pop-ups that you can barely see, but they're etched out in the casting. Kidney grills again, and yeah, mirrors are also on this one, which is pretty cool. And here's your base. It's 1990 copyright. This is probably like a 92 release, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So nice little Beamer there. Next up, we're going to move to a different and all the less common brand in North America, Canada included. We are going to be looking at a Shuco Bmw E36 Touring, so the wagon version. This would be a Bmw 320i per the packaging, in which this is not. This was an eBay purchase, from over a decade ago, I'd say. No, that was in my phase where I used to open everything. You have the licensing BM320, which is why I believe it would be a 320i with the 2-liter inline 6. Good engine, but very hard to get parts these days. So 325s and 328s are a little bit more popular. But yeah, so this has rubber tires, plastic base metal body. Obviously you can see the mirrors are slightly oversized, at least visually to me it seems. You've got wiper details that are painted details for the lights, grill logo, and that license plate I just mentioned. No plate on the back though, but you do get painted rear lights. The rear glass seems awfully small on this one, but overall, you know, the proportions are fairly good. The car does have a little, no, I thought it had suspension, but it doesn't have any suspension. Got a nice beige interior with a steering wheel that looks like a steering wheel that you can see here. Yeah, very, I love wagons, so this is right up my alley. And I like things that are a little bit less familiar, and this is definitely closer to true 1/64 scale as opposed to the Hot Wheels that you see in Matchbox that you see there. Alright, we'll move forward to something just slightly bigger. So we will be looking at a Shuco Bmw 5 Series. This would be of the E60 variety. This is a 545i, so with the 4.4 liter V8 engine. As mentioned in a prior video, obviously the Shuco brand is more of a toy brand than an actual, you know, collector type brand. Although, you know, obviously they're very collectible. Do have nice details. We've got inserted front lights, kidney grills, a cast-in license plate, European license plate, Bmw logo sticker. We've got opening doors on this one to reveal a beige interior. Blue on beige is always a really good combo. Obviously you can see the paint has a really nice metallic sheen to it. Here's your rear end with the 545i badge. Again, that cast license plate. Lens tail lights. You can see the twin exhaust tips on the lower left part of the bumper, as well as a trailer hitch. And this has enough torque basically to pull a trailer. Wheels themselves are pretty reminiscent of BMW style wheels, smaller diameter base style wheels as opposed to like the M Sport wheels or things like that. But yeah, very nice looking little car. I'll show you the base. I always love Shuco bases because they have a whole bunch of pertinent details underneath. So you have engine size, the RPM at which the max power is delivered, 6100 RPM, 4398 cc's, so 4.4 liters as mentioned, 333 PS, so give or take about 330 horsepower, or 245 kilowatt, 8-cylinder, 250 kilometer an hour max speed, which is electronically limited on these vehicles. So yeah, really cool. The blade's slightly larger, 155 scale, versus the other ones. You can clearly see the difference there. Just slightly over so as to give us a better backdrop. All right, next up, let's go a little bit larger again in scale. So we'll hit these 143 scale vehicles. I've got just a couple to show you. First and foremost, and quick note here, these are all very budget friendly 143 vehicles, so I thought that'd be fun to show, because some of the 143 cars, when you get into that scale, there's some extremely premium ones that will cost you $100, if not several hundreds of dollars. So this is not the case here. Here we have, first and foremost, a model we do not have in North America, at least this body style. So the Bmw One Series, in hatchback form. We did only get the coupe and the convertible of this generation of One Series, but if we look at the front end, it's pretty familiar. Something that you know, is recognizable. This is a Barago, so Italian brand. Obviously the wheels are not the best feature of this car, but it does have lens headlamps, a lower bumper grille that's part of the base, which is plastic, so that's a nice little touch. Nicely done kidney grills with the BMW logo adequately placed and pretty accurately sized as well, which is great. Lens headlamps. I like the fact also that the mirror, the window trim is done in black, and it offsets nicely with those side view mirrors. Got a black interior. There's always a, you know, this is a Bangle era car, so the lines are, you know, used to be considered outrageous by BMW purists, but now I think they've grown on everyone. And you see it's a 120D, so a 2-liter turbo diesel car, which definitely is not an engine combo that we got here. You can see the defroster lines also above those badges. Lens taillights, clear glass, sunroof cutout. Very nice little car. Here's your base. And there we go. So cool little, very Euro spec type car. Alright, next up in the 143 scale, I'm going to show you probably which is my favorite BMW of all time. I fondly remember a ride in one of these from one of my uncle's friends that had one in real life. So we have here a Del Prado Bmw E36 M5. So definitely not the best detailed model. You know, accuracy, if we're talking about the overall silhouette, is there. But if we go into detail, you know, there's certain lackings on this one. First and foremost, I like the wheels. They are kind of reminiscent of Hartke wheels. In chrome, we've got the side indicators detailed. Go to the front end, we've got also nice inserted parts for the kidney grills and the front headlights. The side indicators are painted. Dab of paint for the filler for where the front plate would go. Got a nice black interior. Windows closed on this model. No defroster line on the rear window. And the rear, the coloring of the lights is definitely not representative of reality. But at a price point where this was, it's not really a deal breaker for me, and there's not a whole lot of affordable castings of the E36 M5. So yeah, so there you go. You got your badging in the back, tailpipe in silver, and no sunroof. But overall, very nice little model. It's a body style I love, and as mentioned, was not produced a whole lot. I would be extremely happy to find the the more vintage Matchbox version of this casting or of this model. That'd be very nice. Maybe one day we'll see if I can come up with it in a future thrift store, antique shop, or flea market hunt. We'll see what happens. All right, next up we have slightly different era of BMW and a different brand, but we're staying in the 143 scale. So slightly better quality than the Del Prado. We have this 143 scale Bmw M Roadster based on the Z3 in amethyst, or what's made to resemble the amethyst color that BMW offered. Probably my favorite color in the lineup at the time. So really cool little car, iconic styling with a long hood, the very wide rear arches in M configuration, and overall very nicely detailed. The wheels are so much better on this if we're talking about accuracy. They're actually staggered with different size lips, front and rear. The vents are accurately done as well, and they are different on the M model versus the regular Z3. Got the side indicators, mirrors are well done. Door handles are painted as well. You've got a nice two-tone interior in purple and black to match the exterior, which I find is a really cool touch and pretty much what made me pull the trigger on this one. This was an eBay purchase from 12, 13 years ago. Nicely done interior, a little bit of detail on the shifter and on the steering wheel. I'll try and get you a better shot of that here. There we go. So yeah, you know, the indicator and wiper stalks are done. There's a BMW logo in the middle of the steering wheel. You know, very well done. Rear end, got the license plate. You've got the quad exhaust, which is signature of the M model. Nicely done rear lights with the clear indicators, which is always a modification that here in North America we like to do on our BMWs and go Euro spec on the lights. Front end, pretty well done too. You'll notice the kidney grills are slightly off there, but you know, they are inserted pieces. Lens headlights and painted indicators in the corners of the bumper. Overall, pretty well done model. I do prefer the coupe, the infamous clown shoe, but you know, it's still a very nice, vehicle. Last of the 143s I'm going to show you today is going to be a Bmw M1, so the very first M car, designed by Paul Brac, a French car designer, and basically debuted as the BMW Turbo prototype, which is fairly close, not perfectly close, but fairly close to the real thing, which is right here. So again, we'll do a little quick comparison here. The 143 is obviously very, very representative of what the car should look like proportionally. If we look at the rear arches on the Hot Wheels version, because of the staggered wheels, it's a little bit off. But you know, we're talking dollar car versus maybe $15 car. So so this one is a Del Prado. Again, very well done. I find personally better done in the much better done in the 5 Series overall. Sorry, just trying to figure out how the view is going to be best here. All right, so you've got the signature wheels. Fortunately, it would have been much better with a black wash. So so as to get a little bit more detail from the actual rims of the car. As you can see, it's kind of like a 5-spoke, but the actual spokes are cutouts. Besides that, let's see, front end got very nice lensed details for the bumper lights, kidney grills, pop-up lights, venting is all there as it is on the Hot Wheels version, plus you have that nice BMW logo on the top. Rear end, again, you know, you can see the Hot Wheels did a fairly good job. The canopy is pretty much the same. We got obviously the side vents there on the rear fenders that are detailed, whereas they are not on the Hot Wheels version. Twin exhaust, lens taillights, the M1 logo, and there's a little bit of a flaw on this model. There were 2 BMW logos in the back, right above where my thumb is, and up here where my index is pointing. So above pretty much the 2 indicators in the rear, there should be a BMW logo on each side, which there is not. Would have been nice to have a license plate too. Side profile is pretty epic. It's kind of like the last of the wedge designs. These did not sell well, unfortunately. Most of them were actually used and converted to the Pro Car spec for racing, with the big winged wide arches, the big BBS center lock wheels and everything like that, and a higher horsepower engine. These were powered by the same 6-cylinder engine actually that's in the Bmw M5 right here, at least the early specs, the 3.5, putting out about 286 horsepower. They were pretty fast for the time. So not a whole lot on the base, but I'll still show you the, you know, the relevant details. So there you go, 143 scale, 1981 BMW M1, Del Prado collection, and there you go. These are kind of like magazine cars. So basically we'll finish off with 2 larger scale vehicles. First and foremost, we'll start with a Welly, the Bmw 850i. Yeah, it doesn't want to stay there, eh? Tilt this around just a tiny bit. Go. There we go. So yeah, Bmw 850i in 124 scale from Welly. Again, a really cheap eBay purchase. Nobody bid on. It was still in the box when I bought it. I think I probably paid $18 shipped at the time. But yeah, this is an iconic style of vehicle. Really like it, and I was super happy to find the Hot Wheels version in an antique store, because literally it's the same spec except for the interior, same paint color and everything, same engine too. Speaking of, there's a couple opening parts on the Welly version. First of would be the hood, which gives us a nice view of that 5-liter V12. Unfortunately, the pop-up lights are not very well replicated, because technically there they are in a closed position. Technically, these caps here, they should be fixed and not open with the hood. But I mean, you know, it would have, you know, obviously taken like cutouts and everything like that, and would have increased the price of production. So we've got single tone orange indicators that are lensed. Got some nice grill detail for the kidney grills and the outer grills. Nicely reproduced wheels, just missing the BMW logo in the middle, but nicely reproduced BBS wheels, which were standard on the early models like this. Got a light gray interior with, oh my gosh, with a whole lot of fur in there. Do apologize there. Just get a little bit of a cleanup done before I show you the interior. Or as I like to call it, just blow out the dust. Alright, so sorry, this is I've had this for a very long time, and it's not a model I tend to showcase a whole lot, so it has accumulated a little bit of dust, but we do have separate steering and shift knob for the manual transmission. Although there's only 2 pedals cast. Again, this is a problem that I see on certain models in this scale. They put in a stick shift, but they don't put in a clutch, which is kind of weird. Like a semi-automatic, like a Honda-matic transmission almost, where you shift manually, but you don't have to clutch. Either way. Not a huge amount of details. I mean, Welly is a budget brand after all. You know, we've got center console that's nicely detailed, seats that are well replicated. We've got the rear end here that's nicely done as well, with the 850i license plate, BMW logo, and the 850i cast into the trunk lid. Quad exhaust pipes. They're black, so we don't see them a whole lot, but yeah. Got treaded tires. Show you the base details here. There you go. And this is probably a model that came out 25 to 30 years ago. Definitely not something that's super new, but very cool model nonetheless. Last but not least, we'll go with an infamous Jada toy product. So little wink to the previous video that I showcased a bunch of my larger scale. Here's another one, and this is quite sought after, pretty rare in this scale. So this is part of the Euro Spec collection within the Dub City line of vehicles for Jada Toys. And what I particularly like about this one is that it's an AC Schnitzer modified version. So real aftermarket tuning company specializing in BMWs. Adequately replicated wheels, a blade in a huge diameter, real AC Schnitzer 3-piece wheels, and this would be, as you can see, oh my gosh, sorry about that. Let's get that back into place here. There we go. As you can see here, it would be the ACS 3 Sport by AC Schnitzer, based on the E36 Bmw M3 Coupe. Nice exhaust details, nice rear light details. Opening trunk to reveal, well, nothing. And that's fine. They don't all have to have big sound systems, you know, and they do have a couple of speakers here that you can barely see behind the tinted glass. Here's your interior. Yeah, there we go. Nicely detailed, at least in my opinion. Steering wheel's well done. You've got some silver on there to show the infotainment, the shift knob, handbrake. Got the two-tone seats with the harnesses. No harness bar, but you have harnesses. You also have the really cool opening hood with the inline 6 and the big AC Schnitzer signature design anti-sway bar, strut tower brace actually. Yeah, the reservoirs are done, chromed valve cover, you know, it's nicely done. And you've got the infamous kidney grills on front, lens headlights, lens fog lights, nice additional lip on the bottom. Yeah, really cool car. As mentioned also, the wheels are really well done. You've got, once again, the brake calipers in the back and the brake discs that do not turn with the wheel, adding to the realism. Nice little grills in the front fenders with the indicators, the clear indicators on the bottom. Again, this one has been converted. Actually, no, the M3 here came with clear. Some people actually add amber to it for a reason or another. But yeah, really a nice looking model. And it's, I believe, my only European 124 scale Jada that I actually have. So yeah, that pretty much concludes the showcase. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to be notified of future uploads. And don't hesitate to add your input in the comments. So until the next episode, I wish you an excellent day and week. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.